Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
What was the question?
I asked you, could I overtake anybody?
Yeah, the answer is no.
And,
Should I just leave it there?
and your answer, well, I can overtake people, don't I? There's no good telling me the wrong answer, is there?
Oh, yeah,
I
sorry.
can overtake cyclists, couldn't I?
No, yeah.
You had into the speed, not me.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I can overtake a cyclist, providing it's not stopped at the crossing, the left pedestrians cross, yeah?
Oh, there you go. There's a bit of confusion there.
Yeah.
So no is the answer, Tony. You cannot overtake anyone, period, because in order to overtake you would have to increase your speed.
Right.
And just turn right.
Oh, so I can overtake cyclists?
Yeah, you could overtake a cyclist, providing it was stopped. He had stopped there. It wasn't going anywhere.
Oh, so I can only overtake a cyclist that's stopped?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just said I could overtake a cyclist providing he's not stopped at the crossing.
Yeah, that's true as well, because I don't know what I'm talking about and I'm really confused.
So maybe if I give you a half an hour at the end of this lesson today, you might ring me up later on and put the right answer here?
I might do, yeah, Tony, but then again, the state of mind I'm in at the moment, I'm extremely confused, so I probably won't.
Yeah, maybe I should have invested £2.50 in a copy of the Highway Code. Yeah?
That would have been an excellent idea, so I'll go away and I will do some reading up. How about that?
No, I meant instead of spending the money on a lesson.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Okay, so Tony, what kind of crossing is this?
Oh, it's a crossroads.
Sorry, what type of pedestrian crossing is this?
Oh, it's not a pedestrian crossing, no zigzag, is it?
Well, it is, because you've got it's actually a hybrid crossing, which means pedestrians can use it.
I don't know what this hybrid is.
Okay, a hybrid is a crossing which doubles up as a set of traffic lights and a pedestrian crossing.
Oh, a combined crossing, you mean?
Yeah, it's a combined crossing,
it's got a pedestrian element combined in.
Combined into the traffic lights, yeah. It's important you're aware of these, Tony, because if you're just expecting, the flow of traffic to change, and then suddenly you get pedestrians crossing, it can be a bit daunting.
They're not easy to spot though, are they? Because you haven't got any zigzag lines.
You haven't got any zigzag lines, but at the same time you do have those yellow boxes. Just turn right here for me, please. Tony.
Yeah, I'll be watching out for them boxes now.
Yeah.
That helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, good.
And we're going to take the next turning to the right.
And we're going to take the next turning on the right, please, Tony.
So I could have waved them across, couldn't I?
It's important you don't, Tony, because if you're going to wave them across, they might
well, it's not a crossing, or it's not at a safety haven, is it?
Yeah, but as a general rule, you shouldn't wave anyone across. Period.
I definitely shouldn't wave him.
No, you definitely shouldn't.
I should definitely stop for him.
You shouldn't. Definitely shouldn't.
No.
Oh yes, you definitely should, because he's got his foot in the crossing, Tony. Sorry, he's got his foot in the road, and it's important you do let him across.
I'm going to turn right.
And turn right here for me, please. Yeah, sorry, just going back to that last situation. Whenever you do see a pedestrian with his foot in the road, it becomes his right of way. So it's really important that you do stop for that person and let them cross. Okay, what are the consequences of you not stopping for that person, Tony?
I'll probably run him over, wouldn't I?
You would do.
Right, you can have relax. Right, so it's very important before they shut down the session that you ask them, have they got any questions or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any questions, Tony?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
I knew you were going to say that. Go on.
Yeah, so I get the impression I don't have to worry too much about pedestrians outside the pedestrian crossing element.
Well, that's not true. You need to be looking around for pedestrians the whole time, not just pedestrians, but all road users. And the reason for that is that they might cross, because we're on a road, they might decide to cross at any point. It's not just pedestrian crossings that pedestrians cross at. They might cross at, they could actually cross at any point in the road. So you do need to be very vigilant, and you need to be on continuously looking out for young children, people walking along, in case they do decide to cross.
Right. Okay, now relaxing.
Okay, thanks.
Right. Remember your word picture, yeah? You don't. Most people don't do with this subject. They're told the subject is pedestrian crossings and the use of signals.
Yeah.
And they seem to think the use of signals is not really important. I'm not going to bother about that, yeah?
Yeah.
I have actually seen this subject to be signal related only. Yeah?
Okay.
Especially if you're not dealing with the signals, yeah?
Right.
Now we started off with me not coming up to that roundabout and me not indicating the turn right.
Sure. Yeah, and I missed that totally.
And then I gave you a little bit of a lifeline to let you know I hadn't signalled.
Yeah.
I said I had some funny looks from people there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it dawned on you that I wasn't that the subject was pedestrian crossings and signals. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, signals are just important, aren't they?
Of course they are. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. The with the signals. It was timing of signals to begin with as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And what you needed to do was to come in and, well, first you need to realise that, because you asked me when I should signal, and I said I was 6 car lengths away, but I was signalling about 1.5 to 2 car lengths away.
Yeah.
So it was me not judging the 6 car lengths away.
Yeah.
So you kind of just about got that right, and you told me when to indicate.
Sure.
And say this is 6 car lengths, and then gone into it afterwards about, why is it important to signal a good time.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of touched on that, and then you went off into a tangent then about, just about touched on the importance of signaling a good time, and then went into, it's important not to signal too early, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, you need to finish what your, my error was signalling late, yeah?
Sure, of course.
So you need to make sure that I know why it's not important to signal late, and then you can go on to the fact it's not, it's important not to signal about 20 car lengths away, or there is some occasions where you will have to signal late, yeah?
Sure.
And coming up to that roundabout, and there's a road just beforehand, I said to you we're going to turn left at the roundabout, and obviously on the first one I got the signal on.
Yeah.
And then bugger me, we go around again.
Yeah.
And
I didn't prompt you, did I?
Yeah.
I should have prompted
I mean, okay, you were talking about pedestrians at that time.
Yeah.
But the subject is still signals.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw that looming up,
Yeah.
If I'd have been you, I said, and where are you going to signal here, Tony? Oh, I'm not going to signal until I get level with this road.
Yeah.
And that would have been the answer I gave you, but because you didn't ask,
You put on your signals.
I put on a signal.
Okay.
And then you had to tell me to put it back off again. So you're having to be reactive instead of proactive,
Sure.
yeah? Where it was just a nicely placed question there, I would have just backed off, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah, your knowledge of pedestrian crossings is not absolutely 100%, so you need to look at that, yeah?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to overtaking.
Sure.
We were actually talking about parking on the zigzags,
Yeah.
and I don't know why you didn't go into it, because there's only 2 rules relating to zigzags, isn't it?
Parking and overtaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could have combined them, couldn't I?
Yeah, yeah. So
I think the reason I didn't is because of that lack of knowledge which you just said.
Yeah, it's yeah, you didn't seem to know whether I could overtake a cyclist or not, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can overtake a cyclist, providing, like I say, it's safe to do so.
Yeah.
And providing the cyclist is not actually stopped at the crossing to let pedestrians cross, yeah?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah? So, I think a bit of reading of the highway code is important there, yeah?
Sure, of course.
And a bit of reading of essential skills. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff in there. It was just a little bit. Watch these subjects where you've got more than one subject, yeah.
Yeah.
you know, it's very important, especially with this subject with pedestrian crossing due to signals, that you don't just forget the signals because you think it's a smaller subject. Sure. You know, it's not as important, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you're not dealing with it, then that's going to be you're going to find the whole subject about that, yeah.
Okay.
And they will make it about that, and they can by actually turning down these side roads and really playing you up, yeah. You know, so deal with the signals. They are important, yeah. But generally not too bad. Just do a little bit of tightening up. Get your knowledge right, yeah.
Okay.
And again, we did have a chat when we had a cup of tea, and I said the best way of actually handling it was to get in and ask me questions.
Sure. Well, I did try and do that at the start.
Yeah. You want to do a little bit more. Well,
yeah.
You know, we had these kind of these safety aims in the middle of the road, yeah.
Sure.
You know, the reason why I played around with them, I actually came up to one and I checked my mirror, lifted off.
Yeah.
Had a good check, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, you did correct me and you got me moving.
Yeah.
And you told me the importance of not moving. But if you'd have mentioned them a bit earlier,
yeah.
Then I probably wouldn't have played around with that.
Okay.
I had to actually encourage you to mention the beckoning and the pedestrians.
Yeah.
I didn't really get a chance to actually.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Beckon any pedestrians there.
Yeah.
But I could have had a real play around this area, just coming back here, couldn't I?
Yeah, you could have. Yeah.
We were coming up and there was two walking towards me on the pavement.
Yeah.
No mention of them at all, yeah?
No.
And what would you have done as pedestrians stepped up the pavement just as you made the turn? Oh, I'd have to stop and let them go, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
If they were standing on the edge of the pavement,
Yeah.
would you beckon them across? And then I come up the road and then another one just standing about a quarter way into the road from on my right, yeah?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I could have had real fun with him, but obviously I couldn't because there was a car behind me and I didn't want to put him in any more danger.
Okay.
And because it was a crossroads, I let it go, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so get in there and be proactive.
Okay.
Otherwise you end up being reactive and on the defensive all the time, yeah?
Okay. All right.
It's
a difficult subject.
Yeah, it's not
one I found hard from the start, I'll be honest.
Yeah, again, it's not rocket science, yeah? But any subject, if you don't know the rules and regulations that relate to that pedestrian crossings especially,
yeah,
is going to be difficult for you because you're not going to be able to answer the questions.
Okay.
And obviously, if you don't give me the information and there's not much happening, I'm actually probably going to give you lifelines and try and dig the information out of you.
Okay.
And if it turns out you don't know the answers, then I'm going to very quickly realise you don't know the answers, aren't I?
Yeah.
So make sure you know your answers. You know, you've done your part one, but because you've done your part one, how long ago was it? Nearly 2 years ago?
Nearly 2 years ago, yeah.
So because you've done your part one 2 years ago, it's the same with your own driving. The part one and part two combined together is what you're teaching me for part three, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, you know, it's always a good thing, you know, to come back over your part one,
Sure.
Go over your highway code and your essential skills.
Yeah.
And make sure your driving's up to a good standard, yeah?
Yeah.
And make sure you drive to that standard because that is what you're teaching me, and that helps you to make part three a lot easier, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, we'll give that a rest and we'll have a relax a minute.
Okay.